Hello, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion with the Tech Girls. We're really excited to have you here with us. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're joining us from. We would like to welcome and thank all the audience for joining us today. In a few minutes, we will go ahead and start the session, but before we begin, we would like to invite you to watch the WSIS Forum 2022 video that will be played by the WSIS team while we wait for other participants to register and join us. All right, thank you again for joining us for our Women in STEM Speak Up panel. For smooth running of the session, we would like to give some guidelines before we start. Please note that during the session, attendees' microphones are muted. If you would like to intervene, you can raise your hand. For those unfamiliar with the Zoom platform, the raise hand function is located at the bottom of your participant window. And once you are given the floor, the moderator will unmute your microphone. We will be taking questions through the Q&A as well as the chat. You can access both the chat and the Q&A at the bottom of your participant window as well. And the meeting is recorded and will be available on the event page of the WSIS Forum website soon after the virtual workshop. So with all of that being said, I would just like to thank you again for joining us. My name is Teresa Kozelka, and I am the program manager for the Tech Girls program. The Tech Girls is an initiative of the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. It is Tech Girls connects and supports the next generation of women leaders in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics by providing them access and opportunities to advance their skills and pursue their dreams. Since 2012, Tech Girls has trained and mentored over 390 teenage girls from the Middle East and North Africa. And in 2019, the program expanded to include young women from Central Asia as well. In 2022, we're excited to share that the program will be expanding to support approximately 111 young women from 35 countries and territories around the world, as well as 25 US peers. So with that being said, I'm excited again to introduce you to our wonderful panelists who are all Tech Girls program alumni. Today, they'll have the opportunity to share about their experience in STEM and discuss specifically their experience as women in STEM. So with that, I would like to go ahead and ask each of our panelists to go ahead and introduce themselves, share a bit about what you're currently working on. So whether you're in school or working, where you're located, and what year you participated in Tech Girls. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Ikram.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ikram. I'm from Morocco, and currently I'm studying computer science. My passions are advocating for mental health and diversity and inclusion in the STEM fields. I participated in Tech Girls during 2020 and 2021, and this year I'm part of the Alumni Advisory Council. Great to be joining you here.
Thank you, Ikram. Let's go ahead and pass it over to Nada.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nada. I'm from Egypt. I am studying engineering right now in Egypt Japan University of Science and Tech. I've participated in Tech Girls program in both the virtual programs of 2020 and 2021. It was a very unique experience. Yeah.
Thank you, Nada. And now we can go ahead and pass it over to Golosal.
Hello everyone, my name is Gulesal. I'm from Uzbekistan. This is my final year at school and I'm Tech Girls 2021 alumna. And this year I'm working as an Alumni Advisory Council officer. So glad to see you all there.
Thank you, Golosal. And let's wrap it up with you, Ellie.
Hi, I'm Ellie Graves. I'm a high school junior. I'm a former 2021 Tech Girl, and I am now on the Alumni Council, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm based in Asheville, North Carolina, USA, and I am studying computer science as well.
Wonderful. Thank you all. So in honor of Women's History Month, we've decided to discuss the role of women in STEM in general. And so today we're going to just start off with an introduction to each of you and what you like about your jobs and work in technology or more just generally in the STEM field. So if we could run through everyone one more time, and if you could share with us what you like about your jobs or work and education in STEM. So Ikram, if you want to go ahead and kick us off.
Sure. So what I like about working in STEM is basically that it is enabling me to voice my perspectives and make an impact around me. It is just giving me this power to speak up when I see that something is wrong or when I see an issue that I don't like in my community. I can actually make something about it, and I have the power to do so. I have the power to speak up about it and share my perspectives and take a seat at the table so that we can create inclusive technology. That's something that I really, really like about being in the STEM field, is that I have a voice and I'm armed. I can actually change the world and I can make an impact on people. That's something that I really love about working in STEM.
Great, thanks Ikram. And we can just keep on going down the line. So Nada, if you want to share with us as well.
So my favorite thing about being in technology or in STEM specifically is that is the inspiration and support I get in many forms it is. And it's not only that I get that support, it's also how we also reshare it, how we learn from opportunities like this program, and then how we give back to our communities. I feel it's a responsibility to be a woman in tech, and how women are represented in tech. And not just that, it's also how it feeds our curiosity and our ambitions.
Great, thank you, Nada. All right, Golosal, if you could share with us as well.
Yes, being in a STEM field is a very great opportunity for me to have my own voice and to pursue careers in STEM in the future. So I'm just happy to be in this field because during the Tech Girls program, I learned a lot of skills related to STEM field. So it opened me doors to the knowledge that I wasn't aware of before. So I'm sure in the future also my career in STEM and technology will support me in my full life, and I will be able to support myself. I will have a career and I will be a role model for others who are going to pursue this field.
That's great. Thank you, Golasal. All right, Ellie, how about you?
I think my favorite thing about working in STEM is that there's always more to learn, and there's so many different new exciting opportunities that open up for you, especially this year, like doing Tech Girls. It's just all been incredible. I can't believe it, actually. And just I feel like there's always new things to learn in tech. If you want to switch up, you always have the opportunity to switch your major or what you're passionate about. And um, I think that the community here is very helpful with that because they're always very supportive and comforting, and it's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's great that all of you touched on the growth opportunities as well as the connections that you've all made within the STEM field as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into some of our questions for all of you. Our first question is, how important is it for women to lift each other up, and what does that mean to you? So Nada, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you for this question.
I feel like it's very important, and in my perspective, I owe the pleasure to everyone responsible in this program who chose to support young women and girls. I was inspired by the Tech Girls program and the many successful women who are in the program, our fellow Tech Girls and our fellow Tech women also. It was very interesting to meet them across the program and to discuss with them and all that. I study engineering now, so every time I get frustrated, I remember the bigger goal we're all working on, and the huge amount of women who face the same challenges as me, and they refused to give up. They kept going. And as I participated in Tech Girls and something like or a part of the program, the Hockey Wellness Sessions, it was a part of the college readiness program. I was inspired to explore more in mental health and its importance. That's what inspired me to create my Fallen project. So the huge inspiration is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Women can serve as an inspiration for one another to continue working. I think that's great. All right, Gulasal, what do you think?
Okay. So I think it's super important because women can accomplish amazing things when they support each other. And when one woman supports another woman, the boss can benefit from this support. And when a woman celebrates other women's accomplishment, we are all lifted up. So together, women can do more and go further, and they can change the world. And there, if you know, there is a stereotype called old boy network. So why not women can build their network too, like men did?
Absolutely. Thanks, Gulasal. All right, Ellie, how do you feel about this question?
I think that every girl, every woman needs confidence to thrive. And when women lift each other up, it provides that support and community that's needed to feel safe and comfortable. I've obviously learned that with all these amazing women I've been able to work with and all these connections and relationships I've made. I even remember just an example of women lifting each other up in my interview to get into Tech Girls. I was really nervous and I was kind of freezing up a little bit in my interview, but Haley and Bernie were just so supportive and made me feel so comfortable. And they were like, it's okay if you need to take a second. So I felt that sense of being lifted up and like that support. And I was able to move on with the interview and feel good about it. So
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's a really good example to provide that, the support can be found at a lot of places along your journey in tech. All right, we'll close it out with you, Ikram. How important is it for women to lift each other up, and what does that mean to you?
Okay, so I believe that sometimes we can feel as words for the minority. We can start doubting ourselves and if we truly belong to the STEM field or not. We may have this particular image of what someone in STEM needs to look like. So sometimes we feel that we're out of place. But when we get the support, the help, the inspiration from other women, it makes actually a huge difference because it's like having a role model that is a step ahead and that is you can relate to. It empowers you, gives you the motivation to keep going because you see and then you believe that being different is more than okay and being a female is more than okay. In STEM, it is actually needed. So when we support each other, we have this network that will always support us through the way. It can be hard, it can be challenging, but no matter how hard it gets, we have others who are going to help us. And just in the Tech Girls program, I was inspired. A lot of women did help me in my journey because I was dealing with, I didn't believe in myself and I didn't feel like I belonged there. But, the network did help me see the potential within me. And the support that I got from those women, I would never forget about it because it changed my whole life and it made me step into the STEM field. So I believe that it's truly important to have women lifting up each other.
Thank you, Ikram. Yeah, that's really beautifully said. This question builds off of what you have all been speaking about in the previous question, but I'm curious if you could share with us how you may have inspired others, or if you were inspired by fellow women in STEM, how did they inspire you? So let's go ahead and start off with you, Golasal.
Okay. Well, I personally was inspired from one of the most famous STEM leaders called Noelle Silver. And I first of all followed her Instagram. I found her on Instagram, and I watched her videos and everything that she put on her page, and I was so I was so motivated from her work, and she participated a lot of conferences, and she spoke on behalf of all women, and she was so proud of being in the minority, and she was going to increase women leaders in STEM, and that really motivated me to take action to this step. And when it comes to being a role model, I can safely say that most of the girls in my community are inspired to pursue STEM fields after my participation in the Tech Girls program, because I did several presentations. I showed them our videos, our pictures, what we did during our classes with Virginia Tech University, and they all were excited to learn the knowledge that are not present in Uzbekistan actually. So they were so excited. So actually, I can say that most girls are now going to extra classes from STEM, and they always contact me whenever they need help with this thing. So yes, I can say that I also became role model, and I have my own role models too.
That's incredible, Golasal. And I think it speaks to the title of this session as well, that as a woman in STEM, when you speak up, you're heard, and you never know exactly who's hearing you or how that may impact them, but it definitely has an effect. All right, Ellie, how about you?
I was over the last summer, I attended a computer science STEM camp at University of Texas. And the head of the Department of Computer Science, I only had one meeting with her, like for one day, I think for 2 hours. And she was able to, I felt like I learned so much in that time period. And she, not only her STEM skills, but her leadership skills. And I just really admired all of her work. So I definitely looked up to her as an inspiration. And I think I've inspired girls in my community. I hold a workshop at my local YMCA for 12 of their middle schoolers, teaching them like the basic fundamentals of Python. And I think that I've created or helped create a community for them to feel uplifted and they know they can always look up to me if they need any help finding recommendations, or if they want to pursue the STEM field and find opportunities. I'm always available to help them.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'd love to hear how you translated your experience with another leader into your interactions with people in your own community. All right, Ikram, how about you?
I was actually inspired by lots of amazing women in STEM by seeing them staying true to themselves, believing in their potential, owning their stories and journeys, even when sometimes they weren't encouraged to step into the field, they didn't get the same opportunities and privileges. No one believed in them. They just kept on going. They had this belief and this power, and it personally inspires me a lot because I feel like no matter how hard the journey gets, just don't doubt yourself. Keep going, keep believing in yourself, and turn the challenges into opportunities. And I try my best to also inspire other fellow women in STEM by trying to share my story and advocating for diversity and inclusion in the STEM field, and just being supportive and just giving help and support to people who are just starting off and they want to see the potential within them. They want to have this power to keep going, even when they're sometimes considered as a minority. It's hard, but getting the support and getting the right motivation helps a lot. So I always try my best to, as I was inspired, I always try to inspire others and just share the same motivation that I got from amazing women in STEM.
That's amazing. I love that you said that you can turn those challenges into opportunities. And also while doing that, you're staying true to yourself and you feel confident in your own self. So that's wonderful. All right, Nada, last but not least, what do you think?
Yeah, I personally think, and as I said before, that inspiration is key. Personally, like how I was inspired, each successful woman in tech has inspired me in some way, and in a very specific way, and in like her field. But as an example, Rada Amin was a tech woman from Egypt. She is a moderator in a very male-dominant field, a very male-dominated field. And when I met her during pitching our projects, she was my mentor. It was very interesting to talk to her and to connect with her. As how I have inspired people in my follow-on project, I have did a virtual program for girls in my community. It was up to 50 girls on mental health and its importance in our field. They were girls who were interested in STEM, basically younger than me, and specifically from my high school. So they were also my friends. So it was very fun and inspiring also to me to connect with them, to work with them, and to present that program. From time to time, they contact me. We discussed opportunities they are interested in. They may want some advice in some field, maybe something related to school or something related to their activities out of school. So we discuss and prepare for whatever they are interested in. So as I said, they're my friends and we're kind of a family. And some of them even got into tech girls the years after me. And my favorite thing about that is that how diverse the thing is. When we discuss in many topics, and it adds a lot of perspective to me. They're fellow student from the same school.
That's great. Yeah, I think that kind of goes to say that inspiration isn't just a line, right? It can be a circle. You can inspire others and they can inspire you as well. All right. Thank you all for those amazing answers. It's really exciting to hear about how you've been inspired by other women in STEM and then how you've gone ahead and taken that inspiration and given it back to your communities and other women in the field. All right. So as you all know, today's focus is celebrating Women's History Month. And with that comes some challenges that women face within the field of STEM. So we would like to spend a bit of time hearing from you all on any challenges that you have faced within your experience with STEM. So I would love to hear if you have a response to this question, which is, have you faced any discrimination in either the workplace or within your field of study, and how did you overcome it? So we're going to go ahead and start with Ellie.
I can't say that I faced much discrimination in the workplace. I have felt uncomfortable being a woman in tech, though, before in a computer science class at my local high school. There was 6 boys and 1 other girl, and I just often felt like the boys would become very cliquey, and the teacher would often try to bond with them and not really teach us as well. So that made me pretty uncomfortable. But I just, to eliminate that, I just created a Girls Who Code club at my school so that they could have a safe place to have fun and adapt to the environment for high school girls, like the exposure to the tech world and how many opportunities it can provide for them. Because even though there was 1 other girl, as soon like the first club meeting, there was 10 girls, and I didn't even know that many people would be interested. So sometimes I think that being a woman, it can be intimidating to join a club with that maybe is co-ed. And I didn't realize that until the first club meeting. I was just shocked at and so excited that there were girls that were really interested. They were just maybe a little scared.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I think it goes to show that maybe if there is a space created, then it will be filled by women. But, until that safe space is created, you don't really know what the interest is or who would want to join. So that's so wonderful that you used that challenge and converted it into an opportunity, not just for yourself, but for others as well. All right, let's go ahead and hand it over to Ikram.
Okay, so yes, I have. And, I do consider it as a challenge that will just make me grow. And instead of doubting my abilities, my potential, and the feeling that I'm out of place, that maybe I don't belong there, I just try my best to never lose faith in myself. And as Ellie said, I try to take the challenge and turn it into an opportunity. And for me, what helps is basically speaking up. When I felt that I was being discriminated against, that I didn't really belong there, I started my own event that was about diversity and inclusion in the STEM field. And that's when I just spoke up about what was happening. I spoke up about the importance of having diverse perspectives into the field and how they matter when creating inclusive technology. So talking about those things and just viewing other women's perspectives and other people's perspectives, it helped a lot to know that, first of all, I'm not alone, and we can support each other. And it just helps a lot. It motivates you just like keep working so that you can change those things in the future, and so that other people will not go through the same discrimination, the same racism and everything. So it's really important, just speak up and share your perspectives about those stuff. And you're going to see that a lot of people are going to be joining you. They're going to be sharing their perspectives too. And, we are getting empowered by speaking up and by sharing our perspectives about what we feel. So it really helps a lot to just get it out and talk about it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ikram. I agree. I think that when you're empowered to speak up, you empower others to speak up as well. All right, let's go ahead and hand it over to Nada.
Yeah, so discrimination has many forms and shapes, and it's not only about a very clear example. It could happen in some really small examples that we don't pay attention to unless we really, really focus on the meanings behind it. It could be in stereotyping or just small comments, and it's really important to discuss it. So I've also faced the idea of the ratio of females to males. So the small number of women in a class maybe is usually like 4 to 6 girls, and that's there's other 50 boys maybe, and that's general in the engineering field. I personally have faced discrimination from male professors and instructors across the whole time I was in STEM, not just in college, not just in high school. In every single opportunity, it's always expected that boys would be more, would be better, would work better in that position. And the bigger challenge is that in STEM, we're also we're like asked to spend more efforts, or sometimes double, sometimes triple the efforts our male counterparts have to, just to prove our potential and be offered the same treatment, the same respect, and the same opportunities. And this adds up to the weight of trying to combat discrimination. So I believe the best way to overcome it, and the way I've overcome it, is to fight, is to use our voices, use our potential to create opportunities for us and for other women in our fields.
Thank you, Nada. Yeah, it sounds like we're coming across a theme across the 3 answers we've received so far, is that the best way to tackle this is to face it head on, speak up, use your voice, and open opportunities to other women. All right, Golasal, let's close it out with you.
Okay. Well, since I come from a very small village, which is located in the southern part of Uzbekistan, people in my community had a different view on girls. And my interest in STEM began when I was in the 10th grade student, when most of my friends were marrying to someone else, and other people in my community also wanted me to do so. But however, I was selected as a flex finalist, a tech girls finalist, and then my full life changed, and then I started commuting to the city center to take part in IT classes, technology classes. And there have been some time that my parents didn't give me money to commute for my commuting. And however, I didn't give up, I never give up. So after a month, after a month, I showed myself. I started winning money prizes in the competition, so I was able to support myself. So I wasn't really getting money from my parents for my education in STEM. So yeah, I felt lots of discrimination, not only from my teachers at school, who's saying that you can be a baker, you can be a saver, you shouldn't really pursue a tertiary education and things like that. And not only from them, but also from my family members at some point. But right now, everything has changed, so I don't regret that I'm pursuing STEM.
Wow, thank you, Golasal. That's really inspiring. And I'm going to go ahead and ask just a quick follow-up of the 4 of you, because it sounds like all of you have, carried on despite some intense challenges. I just wonder what keeps you motivated, despite the challenges that you have faced, whether it's in a classroom, from your community, from your own family members. How do you stay motivated to pursue what you're passionate about? Could we start with you, Ikram?
Okay, so I was put in a similar situation where I wasn't really given the opportunity to pursue what I really want. And at some point, I really just gave up and I couldn't just do it anymore because I felt like I didn't have, maybe that's true. At some points, I did believe in it. But then I was like, that's my life, that's my journey. I write my own story. Why should I care about what others think about me? My worth is not dependent on others. So I just need to focus on myself, focus on my passion, what I really want. I like, I aspire to contribute to change in the world and to build an inclusive technology. That's something that I really, really want. So why not do it? Why do I need to keep um, getting, I don't know how to say it, but sometimes it's hard, like those challenges, they stop you, they make you feel that you're not worth it, that just give up. But when you just give up at that moment, then your whole life is just, I feel like it's gone, where you're not true to yourself. So please just be true to yourself, believe in yourself no matter what others say. That's the journey. It's hard, it's challenging, but just keep going and pursue what you really want. You're gonna make it, you're gonna be able to do it, and you're gonna inspire others to do the same. That's something that I really appreciate because just recently when I do things that I want and when I share my journey, others are being inspired. They're like, my parents told me this and that was like, I'm gonna give up. But when I heard your story, how I got inspired and I felt like maybe I could do it too because I saw that even though you went through a lot of stuff, you just didn't give up. So please own your story and share with others so that they can get inspired to do not give up. Believe in yourself, stay true to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful, Ikram. Nada, how about you? What motivates you? How do you keep going?
Personally, what keeps me going is that I have a dream, an ambition in that field. It doesn't really depend on whether there's some discrimination or not. It gets hard when there's obstacles more than it should be. However, that's what makes me happy. Being in that field or doing what I want is what makes me happy. And so I go for it, however it was. When the obstacle is really hard, some other ways I use to tackle it is that I discuss with my fellow tech girls, fellow women in tech, anyone who I know has been through the same and has a potential to help me, to guide me. The discussion itself is very important and for us to take.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that in mind and then relying on your Tech Girls network and others as well to keep you going is really wonderful as well. All right, what about you, Ellie?
I think my main motivation is just, being surrounded by all of the tech girls in the past year has been really inspiring. I want to be everyone when I grow up that's involved in this program. And I just really want to see myself succeed. That's something I really care about, seeing myself succeed in computer science. Even though at times, like if I can't figure out a simple error in my code and I can't debug it or something like that, I just feel sometimes like, oh, how am I not getting this? Like, I don't think I'm smart enough for this, but I just have to keep that confidence going. And, sometimes it's helpful to go outside and get some fresh air and then come back to it. And then you can figure it out. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, new perspectives, sharing with others, all of that is good reminders of how to get your head back in the right space. I love that comment in the chat. Focus is the key to stay motivated. Yeah, that's great. All right. Again, last but not least, Golasal, what about you? How have you kept your motivation despite odds being stacked up against you?
Well, first of all, I try to imagine my bright future that I am leading, that I am a STEM leader. So imagining your future can really inspire you not to give up. So it's really a good tip actually to overcome any challenge that you came across. And besides that, the words of Malala Yousafzai has already inspired me. And she said, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. And I always repeat this. And I believe that we can actually change the world with not giving up, with overcoming any challenge.
That's so beautiful, Golasal. And I think that's the perfect way to wrap up that conversation, is that, you have the power to change the world and you're all doing it right now. Okay, we do have one question left for you all. And I think it's an extremely important question, which I know you all thought of. So I would love to hear why you all think that females should be in the STEM field. Why is it important that we have the female perspective within the STEM field? So I'll go ahead and hand it to Nada.
Yeah, so touching back on proving our potential point, it's cardinal and very, very
It looks like Nada's frozen. So I might pass it to,
so as we aspire to be in the STEM field and we work for it, we are eligible to be in it, so we get to be in the STEM field. I remember the first time I discovered that I have a passion in STEM and sciences is when I was in a science week. I was 7, and just engaging in the experiments intrigued my curiosity and made me realize I want to do this more. I want to be in that field. And so every opportunity, every class, every conversation I had has contributed to who am I today, a female in technology. So I think it's very, very important to offer girls the chances to find their passions, to support them to achieve it. And you've got the recipe for the first female astronaut or the first female vice president. So it is very, very important. And it's finally the time to stop labeling it as the first, because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of female astronauts and a lot of important leaders.
That's amazing, Nada. And I agree. I think, there's so many powerful women out there, and it's so exciting to see the progress that's been made. All right, let's go ahead and hand it over to Ellie. What do you think? Why is it important to have the female perspective in the STEM field?
I think to eliminate the gender gap and providing the female perspective to the STEM field is so important. Like, no woman should ever feel intimidated to take new challenges or new opportunities that they have just every right as a man does to take. And it builds, as more women get interested in STEM, it keeps building and building the community, which is great. And I think that's a big goal, is to have this supporting community grow and grow, to feel safe and that they are supposed to be in the field. They're where they're meant to be, and they will thrive.
Absolutely, Ellie. All right, let's hand it over to Golasal. What do you think?
I think without the presence of women in STEM field, all the innovation, all the ideas will be limited to the half of the population that are men. So I think bringing women into STEM is crucial and because it will create more opportunities for women, job opportunities, job prospects for women, and it can be a moral effects too, because women are those who can communicate better, who can come up with negotiations, and yes, in order to have like diversity in the workplaces, in the any STEM field, you should need women.
Well said, Golasal. And it's so important to emphasize that, it's a half of the global population, actually a bit more, and there's nothing but positives that can come from including that perspective. So thank you. All right, Ikram, again, last but not least.
Okay, so I actually don't know. I'm always trying in some communities to define what a woman's place is. Like growing up, I've heard a woman's place is her kitchen. It's there and there. And it just makes no sense for me because I believe that we females are human beings too, and they belong everywhere and anywhere. This applies to STEM too. Like you cannot just exclude parts of the population of the humankind from a field because they don't belong there. If you want to create technology that will include them, that will serve them too, then they must be included, they must be there so that we can get their perspective. Because, if certain groups of people just created the software and that's it, like they're going to create technology, yes, but it's going to work only for them. It's not going to serve anyone else. It's going to actually discriminate against the people who weren't included. So it's really much needed to include females. We need them. We need their perspectives. They belong to the STEM field. They belong anywhere, and they have the right to share their perspectives, to voice their opinions, and to take a seat at the table when technology is being proposed. So it's really important to include females in the STEM field.
Beautifully put. And thank you all so much for your perspective on all of these questions, for sharing your unique experiences, the challenges that you've overcome, the challenges that you're currently facing. I think if you look through the chat, you're an inspiration to so many people. And I would love to encourage you to keep using your voices to act as an inspiration for others. So with that being said, that's the end of our moderated question and answers. So I would love to open up the floor to any of the audience members who are here. If you would like to ask a question, you can either raise your hand and we would love to have you join us with a question, or you can add any questions you have to the chat or to the Q&A. So we'll give you all a moment to ask any questions that you might have. Again, there are a few avenues you can use to put your questions in. The Q&A should be located right at the bottom of your Skype screen. Oh, excuse me, your Zoom window, or within the chat as well. Just while we're waiting, I see some amazing messages in the chat. I see Marjona said, thanks for the various stories. They all inspire us to pursue goals and reach them. That's wonderful. See, another question in our Q&A was just thank you for the inspiring session. So thank you for joining us, Yusra. All right, I see another question which said, what can we do about being underage and females at the same time? So I think that question is kind of getting at how can you continue to be taken seriously within the STEM field when you're not only a female, but you're also underage. Does anyone want to go ahead and take a stab at that? Nada, I see you're off mute.
Yeah, I think the key is to learn, and when you have a set of skills or a certain knowledge in some place, you know how to use it. And an example is to engage in programs like these, programs like Tech Girls and other programs that that also equip young youth with the skills and abilities that will help them when they grow up. So to be taken seriously is to have a strong set of skills that breaks that gap. That when you have a discussion or when you work on a project, you really are presenting yourself just as equal as someone who's older than you, someone to be taken actually seriously. And I think in most workplaces, to be taken seriously, or to be taking, or for your work to be taken, all you need is a very experienced person, someone who has an experience in the field, someone who has skills.
Can I go? So personally, my advice would be confident and do not lose faith in yourself, because being underage and a female is not something bad. It's not something to be ashamed of. Instead, it's something that you should be proud of. So make people proud, even if they don't believe in you, you've got yourself. So believe in it and speak up. Voice your perspectives, your opinions. Do not shy away from speaking up, for example, in an event just because you're underage and people may look at you like, why should I listen to her? No, gather the courage and always try to speak up at any opportunity that you're given so that you can prove yourself. You can prove yourself to yourself first and to others. After that, you're going to see that you're going to start listening to you. At the beginning, they may, I don't know, you may feel that you're not much comfortable speaking up. But after that, after they hear your perspectives, after they see potential in you, they're going to start giving you the respect that you deserve.
Okay, I see two questions that are similar, so I'll go ahead and try to group those together. One says, can you name some female leaders that you like? And the other says, who is a woman in STEM that you admire and why?
Well, if I say it, Noelle Silver is one of my role models in STEM. You can find her on Instagram if you just search for Noelle Silver. And besides that, when I was at Tech Girls program, we were taking classes from Virginia Tech University, and one of the professors who were responsible for our group, Amy group, was Mrs. Anna, and she really inspired me during the program, and she did lots of research papers, and she shared them with all, and it was so inspiring to talk with her, really. So I don't have much role models in STEM, but I have a few, but I admire them all.
Does anyone else want to share about females in STEM that they look up to, or just other women leaders in general?
For me, I do have lots of women in STEM that are inspiring me. But as Glasses said, Noelle Silver is an inspiration and a role model for me too, because I was at one point, I was really confused and I didn't know if I shall go with a major or not. So I was asking her, and she did help me a lot to gain new perspectives. And that did really help, because after that, I believe that I've got the choice to decide which path I need to choose, like that. I don't need to hear like all perspectives and just do them. So I just need myself. I just need to hear myself, and that did really help. Also, her journey was really challenging, and it inspires me a lot because you see that no matter how hard things can get, you just need to believe in yourself that you can do it. Never give up. That's something that I learned from her journey. Because when you hear her story, you feel like, oh my God, did you not give up? Personally, I would be like, I cannot do it anymore. But she kept on going. She kept on believing herself, and she's inspiring others too. So that's really something that I admire in her.
That's amazing. I think I saw Ellie, you were about to speak as well. Do you want to share?
Yes. A big role model for me is Heather Justice. I mentioned her in the Tech Girls workshop. She now works at NASA, and she's on the project of the Opportunity rover. And I just think one of her big things is that she just got interested in this rover video on YouTube at her high school. And then she turned that into a dream, and then turned her dream into a reality. Like she's really doing it. She's made it. Like she's at NASA working with this rover in space. It's just inspiring to me.
Yeah, that's incredible to see the tangible steps that can be taken when you really pursue your dreams. All right. The next question for you all is, do you have any tips for gaining confidence to pursue STEM for those who may be nervous?
I think that being nervous is fine at one point, but just make sure to put always the vision ahead of you so that you can always have this goal. Why am I doing all of this? Sit with yourself and know your why. Try to see the passion. If when you're passionate about something, no matter how, I don't know, yes, you're nervous, you feel that you might not belong there, but just believe in yourself and always remember your vision and your why. Why are you doing that? Why are you pursuing this major in STEM? Why do we need, the why is really important. And when you're always seeing it or putting it in front of you, you're never going to feel that I'll just give up, because you have the why that you want to achieve, that you want to work on. That's your why in life, so it's really, really important. Just take the time to set a why in your life, and just make sure to never lose belief in yourself.
Well said. We have a couple more questions and we only have 2 minutes, so I might bounce to the next one. Our next question is, what was a main key of your success in this program and in life? So what was a key of your success in the Tech Girls program or just in your life as a whole?
For me, I can say that you should be passionate about STEM. And my passion in technology made me successful in this program, I think. And you should be change catalyst, really. You should have some leadership, and you can make decisions independently, and yeah, things like that.
I think for me, challenging myself was a big part of how I got to where I am. And I still have a long way to go and a lot of goals to reach. But right now, I just think I wouldn't be here if I didn't kind of dip my toes in the water and really challenge myself, break out of my comfort zone for sure. That was a big partial step for me to get comfortable with.
What about you, Nada?
I wanted to say that the key is in life persistence and discipline. And it also touches on Ellie's point, how challenging yourself and getting out of your comfort zone is very, very important for you to learn.
Any thoughts from you, Ikram?
Yeah, I believe just be true to yourself and be yourself, because that's really important. Embrace your uniqueness, your differences. Do not try to be someone else and take the journey of someone else. Always be proud of who you are and what your journey is. That will be your success in life.
Amazing. Well, thank you all again so much for sharing with us your perspectives, your experiences, your inspiring stories. Again, I encourage you to continue to do so. We love to hear your stories and we would love to amplify them in whatever way we can. Thank you to everyone who joined us and for all of your wonderful questions. This hour flew by so fast. I can't believe it's already over, but it was really exciting to connect with these wonderful Tech Girls alumni and to hear their stories. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. Before we officially close the session, we would like to invite the WSIS team to play the WSIS Forum 2022 Partners video.